Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to demonstrate how we can achieve the pick and place simulation in Robot Studio. So this is entirely the simulation part, so our end result will be something like this. So we will simulate the pick and place mechanism using Robot Studio. So let's get started. So for that, let's close this station. Okay, we will start with a new virtual controller with our robot loaded. IRB 12 and create. Okay, our controller has been loaded. So let's attach the tool to our robot. Import library, equipment, and we will attach my tool. So this will act as a gripper that will attach the object. So my tool attach this my tool to our robot. Okay, so you can see we have a robot with the end effector. Now we will create a box. So to create a box, let's go to modeling, go to solid and create a box. So the size of the box will be 200 length, 200 millimeter width and 200 height, and let's set it around this position so that we can pick this box from this position to and place it somewhere around here. So for now, let's set it to, let's see, okay, 300 means okay, it's around here, and in Y direction maybe 400 minus 400 and nothing in Z direction, so we will pick it up. Let's create it, and together with this box we will also create another box, well, just like a copy of this. So create a copy of length 200 and 200. So this box we will place in the destination. So when we pick this box up, the first box, so we will place it in some other destination. So let's place the second box in the destination. Let's say our destination will again be in 300. You can put in any destination you want. Okay, let's say this one will go to, not minus, let's say it will go to this side, and let's also go somewhere up. So it's 400 and create. Okay, now you can see that we have two boxes, part 1 and part 2. So enough with the boxes. So now we will create the targets for boxes. So to create the targets, let's go to home, and you can see the option target here. Go to target and click create target. Okay, let's see. So once you have this window, we will select this tool. This is a snap object, so we can just select the target on the object. So select snap object here. After we have selected the snap tool, we will click on the object. Let's say we'll click on add new and click on the face. Now new point has been added, point 1 is added, and let's add another point just above the box. So maybe like 100 millimeter above the box. So let's set this position to 300 sorry, I should modify this to 300, this to be 300. Modify, I can delete this point. I'll delete this. Anyway, create. So I will delete this point, delete. So now you can see our first target is just above the, just on the upper face of the box, and the second target is above the box, like 100 millimeter above the box. So we will do the same for the other box as well, box 2 as well. So for box 2 also we will select the snap option and select it. So we'll go to add new, select this, then this is the first point, and for second point we can just increase it by 100, so it will be 700, and add. So again we have 2 points here, and click on create. So now we have 4 targets. One target is just above the, just on the upper face, second is above, and same for the second box. So after we have 4 targets, let's add a new point as a home. Let's say this position is home position of the robot. So make sure our tool is selected, my tool is selected, and just click on teach target around here. So basically this will teach this target to the robot. So this is the teach target. Let's rename the target so it will be easier for us to see. So this one is, this target is box 1, sorry, box 1, and this one is above box 1. So let's rename it and make it box 1 underscore up. This is box 2, rename box 2. This one is box 2 up, and this is the home position for our robot. So after renaming everything, after we renamed everything, let's zoom out and see. So we will now select one of the target. Let's say I will select box 1 up and right click on box 1 up and go to view tool on target. We will see how our tool should be positioned when it reaches to this target, when the robot reaches this target. So now you can see the tool right now is in inverted position. We don't want our robot to, it's actually impossible for our robot to place the tool in this position. So we will try to change the position of the tool. So right click and go to modify target and rotate it. So now you can see we can rotate this around y axis for 180 degrees. Let's see. Okay, now it's on top, but let's rotate this tool around 45 degrees so that it is easier for our robot to come to this position. So around G axis it should rotate around 45 degrees. Maybe it's minus 45. Let's see. You can, okay, no, it's not minus 45, it should be 45. Okay, it should be positive 45. So this is the target, this is our tool at this target. So we need to do same thing for all these targets. So for box 1 again, you can see the tool is here. So we will just rotate the tool using modified target and rotate 180 degrees around the G axis. Let's see. Oh, sorry, it's not around G axis. Let's take it back, apply, and then it should be around 180 around y, apply, and around z axis again it should be just 45 degrees. Okay, so this is the new target for this one. So similarly we will do the same for box 2, 180. Okay, for this case, let's see for box 2. You can see our tool is facing like this, so we want this to rotate towards the robot. So to rotate it towards the robot around z axis, we will rotate it around minus 45 degrees, so it will be easy for our robot to go to this position. So you can see this position is the end of our robot. It will go to this position with the tool connected, so it will be easier for our robot. So we have added for box 2. So even for box 2 up, modify target, sorry, close, modify target and rotate it. So rotate around y axis 180 and again towards g minus 45 degree, apply. So now we have already placed all the targets and we have already checked the tool in that target. So now let's create a path. So for that, let's start with box 1 up. So right click on box 1 up here and click on add to new path. Add to new path. You can see a new path is created here. So if you expand it, there is a option move L, box 1 up. So instead of move L, we will use move J. Let's see, and we can also modify this to edit instruction or modify. Okay, edit instruction from linear to joint. We will jog in joint mode, apply. So now the instruction is move J, and then again we need to see something. We go to modify instruction and check the zone data. So zone is right now it's 100, but since we want to grab the object, so we want our zone data to be fine. Let's change the zone data to be fine even here. So by default it will be fine, and by default it will add move J. So after we have created the move J instruction for the target box 1 up, you can drag other options. So first our robot will move to box 1 up, and then we want it to go to box 1. So for that target we can just drag it and place it below that. So now you can see move J box 1, and you can see the instruction as well, move J box 1 with this velocity, zone fine, and this tool and this work object. So after that we will want our robot to go to move box 2 up, go down to box, and then again come up box 1 up, and then it will return to its home. So this is the actual path. You can see it will come to the box 1 up position, it will go to box 1, and we want it to grab this object and take it back to box 2 up, place it down here, come up again, and then come back to the home position. So now for that we want to add some logic so that it will grab the box. So for that, let's go to simulation and go to station logic. So in the station logic you can see there is empty, so let's go to signals and connections. signals and connection, or before signals and connection, let's go to compose and add component. So we will add a positioner. This is to set the box in that position when we reset. Positioner, attacher to attach an object to our tool, and detacher to detach the object from the tool, and we will also include collision sensor, 2 collision sensors actually. Okay, 2 collision sensors has been attached. So now let's go to attacher and right click properties, or the properties is already shown here. So let's select the parent for this. So the parent should be my tool. So the parent for the attacher is my tool, and the child will be the first box, it's part 1, and we will apply. And now go to detacher. So for detacher, now we will just use this to detach the attached object. So the child will be part 1 again, and apply. And we will go to collision sensors. For collision sensor, object 1 should be my tool, and object 2 will be the box. So when it is near the box, it will attach the box. When the sensor goes out, it will attach the box. So we can set the near miss to be 10. Apply. And for sensor 2, we will select the object my tool, and object 2 will be the next box, and near miss will be 10. Again apply. Let's change the property again, it's not reflected here. Okay, now we can see. And for collision sensor again, for part 2, near miss will be 10. Apply. Let's check detacher. Okay, this one has part 1, this one, okay, the parent should be my tool and part 1. Okay, close the positioner, and let's go to the positioner. And for the positioner, we will set the position of the first part. So let's set the position as 300. This is the position of our box, the first box 1, and minus 400, and apply. So close. Let's go to our view and layout. Let's go to path and target. When we are in path and target, let's select the path 10, right click, and go to auto configuration. Just to check, we have to teach the robot to go through this path once. So let's just select move all move instructions, so it will calculate the path. Okay, so once this is done, we will move back to station logic. So in station logic, now let's go to signals and connection, select signals and connection, and add input output signal. So we will add a new input output signal. The type of signal is digital input, so leave it as default, and add the name reset, and signal value to 1, and we will click OK. So after we have added a new signal, we will go to the design window. So in design window, you will see we already have the detacher, positioner, collision sensor that we added previously. So let's select our positioner here, and our collision sensor should first collision sensor should activate attacher, and second collision sensor should activate detacher. So when the reset is clicked, or when reset is 1, we will execute the positioner. That means it will generate the position. So we can see there is no position right now. We will go and update it from compose, positional, properties. Sorry, it should be positioner and properties. Okay, the position was the position of the box, so it was 300 minus 400 and 0. So let's apply. Okay, let's go back to design. Now you can see the position here. Okay, let's select. So when the collision sensor goes out for first collision sensor, we will just connect it to attacher. So attacher will be activated. That means it will attach my tool with part 1, and for collision sensor 2 we will execute detacher. So after we did everything like this, we'll go back to our path. You can go to view, we'll go to our path and click on right click and select synchronize to rapid. So now it will show this dialog box and select everything here and click OK. So now it will generate a rapid code for this simulation, and also we will, for the sake of simulation, we have to set the entry point for simulation. So we will set this point as entry point, set as simulation entry point. So now let's go to simulation and play. Our simulation is starting. It will go, drag, and it will place the object where we want it. So to view only this object, we can go to layout, and the second box we can uncheck the visible, so it will not show the second box. And let's try reset. Okay, let's set the position to be back, because we have set the positioner with this one, so we can just set the position, apply. Okay, now I will go to home, and there is an option to show and hide. I will just hide all the path, not show all the path, and all the targets. I will not show all the targets. So let's see. Let's go to simulation again, and load. So now you can see how we can simulate the pick and place option using Robot Studio. So we can reset and again play it. So it will pick the object and follow the path that we define and place the object in the required position. So now you can try this one for yourself.